Anyway, so we're going to get chat with Marqus Anthony right now, who's live in Atlanta. Let's see what he's all about. How you doing, man?
What's the deal, Andy? What's happening, bro?
Man, it's a pleasure to have you on my show, man. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm just grateful to be on HopeJamz radio in the UK, man. Such a tremendous blessing, man. Shout out to all y'all, man. Mad love from Atlanta, Georgia, United States, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, all the way from Detroit to Atlanta. Now being heard in the UK, around the world, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a pleasure, man. Definitely a pleasure on my part. I always to speak to international artists, man. And, yeah, man, like you said, like you were in Detroit originally, right? And then you just moved to Atlanta. So why did you make the move?
Well, man, lots of different reasons, man. Just, Atlanta is like the new Hollywood in United States. Everything is popping here from films to music. It's really like one of the biggest, as a lot of people know, one of the biggest cities for hip-hop in the entire world. And, I had to get away and do something different. You know what I mean? I love Detroit. I grew up in Detroit for 27 years and, just had to fly, man. Had to fly and do my own thing. And just really more than anything, though, I felt the Lord pulling it in my spirit to go ahead and make this move. My manager is down here. That's where my music manager lives. And so, man, we just down here. We're getting it in. Connected with a ministry called City Takers down here with Scott Free.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to them. And, just a whole bunch of awesome stuff going down in Atlanta that I'm thankful to be a part of.
Yeah, man, you mentioned City Takers. So I know that Scott Free's just opened up the new crossover church in Atlanta, right?
He's getting ready to. They're preparing for the launch, and they're getting ready to launch a crossover ATL in this fall. And so I'm super excited and just building with the team, serving. I've had the opportunity with City Takers already to go and minister and song, at the Safe House in Atlanta where they're feeding the homeless. They do a lot of prison ministry here, a lot of urban missionaries is what they call it. They just premiered their movie last weekend. It's a really dope movie. Make sure y'all check it out. And just a dope movie, man, something that I love the heart of, and I'm really glad to just be a part.
Yeah, man, that's really good, man. So obviously you're going to be part of that whole enterprise now, which is definitely a big movement, man. I've been checking out City Takers since, I don't even know, man. Maybe since, no, not ages, but I mean, it's since about 2012, I think I first saw them. So that's quite well.
Yeah, I had been following them myself in Detroit for a while, and we had a movement in Detroit called the Edge Christian Light Club, and I was trying to kind of model the Edge after City Takers because I was watching them from afar and just seeing what they were doing with combining, hip-hop music with Jesus, with outreach, with ministry, and doing events. And it's just an awesome way to connect with people. And just, the motto for City Takers is love a city, draw a city, and build a city. And so just trying to, love on people, show them the love of Christ, and give them some encouragement, and also help them out. And so it's an awesome heart that I just love, Shout out to them.
Yeah, man, definitely. All right, man. But right now, here and now on HopeJamz, obviously good to have you on board, man. We just want to obviously learn all about you, man. So tell us about how you got into the scene.
Well, man, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. For Marqus Anthony, man, my name is Marcus Lear from Detroit, Michigan, and I grew up an atheist. I wasn't saved, didn't believe in Jesus Christ, was a blasphemer. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come to Christ until I was 22 years old. I actually grew up, I was a whiz kid, you know what I'm saying? I got a full-ride academic scholarship to the University of Michigan and went there and graduated with distinction and with a bachelor's in science and went straight from there to working for the United States government as a scientist at the age of 22.
Whoa.
And yeah, so it's a lot more to me than what you see. So you got that side of me being a whiz kid and then coming to Christ. And then you've also got something that a lot of people don't know about me is that, my father, he actually wasn't a part of my life. My biological father, I've seen him maybe once in the past 15, 20 years. That was at a funeral, you know what I'm saying? And so he wasn't around, but yeah, I was raised by my stepdad. I had two different stepdads, one from the ages of 0 to 10 and one from since 10. And then they was both actually black men, and I'm a white boy, you know what I'm saying? And so my mom, she had married two different black men in my life growing up. Had two daughters, my beautiful sisters, Sydney and Chantel. So I grew up in an interracial household. My sisters are mixed, black and white. The man in my household was a black man, my mom being white and me being white. And so I had cousins, aunts, aunties, grandparents that was black and also ones that was white, you know what I'm saying? And so being in such a racially divided era where everything is so divisive, for me, like I see black and white people as all my people because that's how I grew up. Like I would be raised over there as, you know, the only white boy, but I wasn't no different, you know what I'm saying, growing up. You know, shout out to the Ellis family, man. Much love and appreciation for the way they took me in, and I was just another one. And so, and also, you know, my mother did an awesome job raising me as a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? And then when she got remarried at 10, you know, Romeo, that's the man who I would like. That's who I'm gonna call tomorrow on Father's Day. That's who I'm gonna post about is Romeo. And he came in my life at the age of 10, and he's been basically my dad ever since then. If anybody I would call my dad, it would be him. He was a former Marine, you know what I'm saying? And he just instilled so much of how to be a man into me, and I wouldn't be who I am today without him. So happy Father's Day, a day early to my pops, basically. And, you know, so it's different sides to me that people don't see when you just look at me and you see a you know, white boy with freckles, with some brownish blonde hair with blue eyes, you know what I'm saying, that's a rapper. You know, it's different layers to unpack about me, but I'm just thankful to be made in the image and likeness of God, that Jesus saved me. And so that's a little bit of my background, Andy. Once again, appreciate you for having me on the show to share my story with the world.
Yeah, man, that's deep, man. So, did you ever get in touch with your biological father?
Yeah, I mean, man, now that's a heck of a question, bro. I ain't seen this man since the funeral that I saw him at. My Aunt Joanne, when she passed away, I saw him at the funeral, and I linked up with him, and I gave him a chance. You know what I mean? I talked to him everything that day, and by the end of the day, you know, I gave him my number. You know what I'm saying? And brother ain't called me since, and you know. I had been thinking about how to get, you know, reaching out with him and everything. And, you know, it's crazy because one of the songs we're going to play later called Through the Storm, which is the title track from my upcoming EP. That song it talks about that. And I moved out of my mom's house in my early 20s. I moved in with my grandmother, who I call my nanny, you know what I'm saying? And my nanny, that's actually my biological father's mother. But he don't converse and speak with her or me. So his son and his mother living together, both having no contact with him. And he don't talk to any side of his family from there. And so it's just, you know, it's really like a heck of a situation. And, but she know where he lives. And so like, you know, it goes deep, man. I went by the house one day, knocked on the door because my grandma had a heart attack and she was in the hospital. And I was like, man, this man needs to know his mom's in the hospital, but nobody was home that day. And so, you know, it's a tough situation that I'm hoping to confront sooner than later. And so that's why I made this song. And like the song Through the Storm, it has, man, it's deep. It was the hardest song I ever made. And it has some like crying out, and hopefully he hears it. Hopefully somebody shows to him and he hears it. And, you know, hoping to make contact with him because he ain't dead. I ain't dead. And, you know, Christ forgave me so I can forgive him. And so, you know, definitely hoping to have some kind of resolution to that story and just show love more than anything.